to thank you all for attending, coming from many different places to gather here at our 30th year AGM. 30 years we've been here. Tim Hunter's here in the first row. He'll come up in a few minutes. He's one of the co-founders for the, well, one of our, yeah, lights out, right? He's one of our co-founders. Yeah, that's right. That's right. And as you see on your program, our theme is looking up. And there's a double entendre here that we can look up into the sky and actually see something if we prosecute our mission well. And also things are looking up for the IDA to continue with its mission. We're in really strong shape in terms of a lot of things that are going on that we'll mention momentarily. So we're really going to pursue that mission and work hard with you all and with our grassroots to further our mission to eliminate light pollution. So I wanted to extend thanks to you all for coming, as I mentioned, but also say thanks to our sponsors. You can see them in our program. There's a sponsor page, so thank you for them to help sponsor the AGM. Also, our cornerstone sponsors. These are individuals that are also listed in the AGM that have contributed financially, personally, to help put on the AGM. So we thank them as well. As you can see from the program, there's a lot of neat things going on in terms of content. Some of the content is really the best ever, I think, to inspire you in our mission and also to help you with your own advocacy efforts. We also have breakout sessions, poster sessions outside that'll be really interesting. So you've got one-on-one discussions with some of the presenters. Also, don't miss the dark sky party or the telescope party that Saturday night. That'll be great. It'll be really cold. But go for that. We also have a presentation on astrophotography or landscape photography at night with your cameras if you've brought that too. So that's really fun stuff to do. What Scott and I thought we would do is a little bit of a look under the hood at the IDA. The board's been really busy this year in terms of the projects that we've worked on and the things that we've accomplished. So I'll ask Scott to come up and we'll do a little bit of discussion with respect to some of the things that we've done this year. And the first thing I wanted to mention is that we have added tremendously to staff and really built the staff out to help us pursue our mission. So I want to turn it over to Scott to introduce the staff.
Yeah, so, sorry if this is, I'm going to
use that one.
Yeah. First of all, I just want to acknowledge not only the folks that have come here from far and wide, but those who aren't here with us. It's the volunteers and grassroots individuals such as you that really move our mission forward, and equally important, provide the financial support for the organization, which allows us to build the capacity to deliver on our mission. So this past year, we've had the opportunity to add a couple of new staff members who've really upped our game. I'm going to just go around the room and ask staff members to stand up so I can introduce you. Pete Strasser, our technical director. Please stand up, Pete. Thank you. And we're really blessed to have our entire staff from Tucson here. I describe our organization as lean and mean. We have a really small budget. We have a relatively small staff, but we totally kick ass. So please make time to introduce yourselves to the staff members and hang out with them, and you'll learn a lot, and you can ask them lots of great questions. Is John Barentine here? John is our, he's now our policy director. He's gone to heaven. Is that what that means? John's doing a press conference right now, I think. Anyway, many of you know John. He used to manage our Dark Sky Places program, but his big shoes have been filled in by another awesome staff member who's new to the team. Is Adam here? Adam Dalton, stand up. Yeah, Adam. And now it's my chance, Adam. Here's the marathon story. Little did we know, I'm going to probably get this wrong, but Adam ran a marathon just for the heck of it. He's a distance runner, and was it up here in Salt Lake City that you broke the record and you qualified for the 2020 Olympics? Am I getting this right, Adam?
It was in Minnesota, and it's the Olympic trials, not the Olympics.
I was close.
I'm not going to make the Olympics, there's no way.
Yes, you are. You said, that's not what you told staff.
There's a higher chance of winning the Super Bowl than I do.
Anyway, he's on his way to the Olympics, and don't let him kid you. And we're gonna have an IDA shirt that he sponsors, So anyway, welcome to Adam. It's great to have you here. Amanda, you've been standing up. Amanda's Gormley is our communications director. She has wired this. Yeah. You will see Amanda everywhere. She has wired this whole conference together. She's put together with the rest of the team the beautiful program and has just done a remarkable job in stitching all the pieces together. So thank you, Amanda. Do you want to introduce Paris and Lauren?
I think you should.
Go ahead. These are our two volunteers from the East Coast. Have I got this right? They were at our Boston meeting last year, totally working the network. And when I say network, I mean the social media network. This is stuff I'm way out of my wheelhouse. I'm way out of my comfort zone. We're talking Facebook, we're talking Twitter, we're talking, it's not Instagram. Yeah, thanks, Ken. So anyway, watch what you say and don't make funny faces because you're going to get caught on camera by these guys. So great to have you all here. Let's see. Who have I missed? Last but not least, who's that? I didn't ask you to stand up. This is Deanna DeSolar. She's a remarkable individual because she wears two hats. She is managing part of her time with works with Adam on the Dark Sky Places program and has really brought a lot more energy and a lot more kind of efficiencies to that program that's really moved us along. And the other half of her hat is she runs our brand partners program. So a lot of you folks may know Deanna. She's been marvelous at raising a lot of money for this program, and she's just a great asset to the whole team. So welcome, Deanna. Oh, and how could I forget Donut Ollie? Stand up, Ollie. Ollie Gadwala is best known for bringing boxes of donuts from Amy's Donuts in Tucson every Monday morning. So if you look at staff's waistlines and you see they're a little bit pudgy, blame it on Ollie. Ollie,
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
You're doing fine.
Ollie is our IT guy. He keeps our computers humming. He keeps us out of trouble with security issues, and he's just a wonderful guy to have around the office. So welcome to Ollie. And if anything goes wrong with the cameras, blame it on Ollie. How can I forget?
Our chapter champion. Yeah.
Betty Maya, you didn't stand up. You weren't throwing darts at me. This is Betty Maya Foot. Yay, Betty Maya. I have a feeling everybody knows Betty Maya. This is her home stomping ground. We pried her away, just like Adam from Salt Lake, to come down to beautiful Tucson. She was a little bit remiss about coming down to Tucson the first couple of weeks. She said, "Why am I living down here? I miss Salt Lake City so badly." But I think the game has changed, and she says, "See ya, Salt Lake City. I love Tucson." Anyway, Betty Maya is running our chapter program. We've gone through this huge restructuring effort, and I think she's part-time attorney now with all the legal stuff that she's managed. But she is bringing new energy and new juice and a lot of sophistication to our chapter programs, which is what you all are all about, and making change on the ground for the better of the night sky. So thank you, Betty Maya. Now,
So you stay there, because I'm going to ask you some questions, okay? So this is the second piece of Under the Hood. So
Okay.
there's been a lot of things that we've done this year, and I'd like to start with the strategic plan that we've worked on a really long time. And so tell the audience a little bit about how that started with staff. It originated out of staff, and then we took it to committee, and we now have a strategic plan.
So I want to see a show of hands. Who has ever been involved in doing a strategic plan before? Raise them high. Okay, how many bottles of Advil did you all go through collectively? 10. Thanks, Ken, for the question. Yeah, IDA has for some time not had a strategic plan for the organization. And as most of you all know, strategic plans are really instrumental to guiding an organization's priority and its work and its programs. It's kind of like the roadmap of how you get from point A to point B. And for years, we've been trying, as Ken said, to get a strategic plan off the ground. So about 18 months ago, we started getting serious about this. Staff put together we did some SWOT analyses and some other kind of background materials and developed a starting point for the strategic plan. And then we we created a committee. Kim Patton down there, stand up, Kim. She was the chair of our strategic planning committee. Yeah. She gets a big kudos for that. So we went through several iterations of the strategic plan. We identified 3 primary goals, governance, fundraising, and programs, and vetted it with the board and through the strategic planning task group. Ended up with a remarkable plan now. It's a 3-year plan that will take us through 2022, I believe, 19, 20, 21, and has given us basically the guidepost to make sure that we stay on track and stay focused on our work. So that was a huge, heavy lift by the organization, and compliments to the board and to the staff that saw us through that.
Okay, a couple more quick points that I wanted to mention and jump in if you want. We also worked on the outdoor sports lighting guidelines this year. Those were approved at the beginning of the year. We got the program off and running later this year. And along with that, we also have approved guidelines for electronic messaging signs. Okay, these are really important because where I come from in Texas, at least, we have 200 sports complexes coming online next year. And so for the IDA to be relevant and important and engaged in some of these new developments, we've got to have guidelines out there so that we don't have a mess in terms of, you know, what these sports lighting complexes look like and electronic messaging signs. So that was a huge focus this year to make sure we got those done and the advice out there so that there's a standard that people can look at to make sure we at least try to stem some of that tide. So staff worked very hard on that. Our committees, the technical committee worked very hard to make all of that happen as well. One last thing about chapters I wanted to amplify this year. We're actually implementing the new chapter structure so that chapters can raise money on a tax-exempt basis. And the IDA has budgeted a lot more financial support and also staff support for chapters to make sure that we're really behind the chapter program to make sure that they succeed. I think that's it, unless you want to mention finances.
Sure.
Real quick, and then, yeah, I know you do.
This is what gets me excited.
Yeah.
Thanks,
And,
Ken.
and that'll be that.
Okay, just real quickly, some of you all may know we this last year initiated a $3 million endowment campaign to raise money that will go into an account that will generate revenues in perpetuity that will go to operations. And any organization that's got an endowment that's a clear signal of financial health. We've ended the last 3 years with a surplus, which is really great. We've moved into black ink seriously. And the other great thing that we've managed to do is we've created what's called an operating reserve, which is a rainy day account that if the lights go off or some catastrophic event comes our way, we have money to keep the office on, the lights on, the office running, and things of that nature. So we are in really, really great financial health. And once again, the shout out goes to all of you and folks who aren't in this room to thank them for providing us the fuel for the tank so we can get the program and the work done. So hats off to you. All right, we're going to have Jess come on up. Jess Dwyer. I failed to acknowledge her as a board member. I'm skipping things all over the place here. This is what happens.
We didn't stand up. We were seated, so we didn't stand
Oh,
up.
you can, I'll give it to Jess. This is what happens when you turn 66, folks. The synapses just don't work anymore.
Scott, leave that mic on the table and use the podium, please.
We're grown-ups, Kelly. We can do this.
Thanks so much. Hey everybody, Jess Dwyer. I am honored to be a board member of IDA and also chapter lead for Dark Sky SLC. Can I get a show of hands of folks who are from Utah? The Wasatch Front. Oh, we can clap. We can totally clap. Fantastic. What about someone who thinks they're from the very farthest away?
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, look around, notice each other, because I think we're going to have like a map off at some point. Will you please again raise your hands, those of you who said you have participated previously in drafting a strategic plan? Raise them high. Holy guacamole, look around the room. We are a room full of people who know how to get stuff done. Not only are Dark Skies folks my favorite to hang out with because we care about this for lots of different reasons, you're my favorite to hang out with because you get stuff done. You'll notice that there's sort of a spaciousness in our agenda, and I just want to commend Amanda Gromley for building this experience because she knows, just like the Inca who saw constellations in the dust clouds, we as appreciators of dark sky spaces can see stuff in the spaces between. So I want to invite everybody to really capitalize on talking to each other. I think we are our best resource as we go forward and build dark sky capacity and increase the capacity of everyone around the world to see the stars no matter where they live. I can't wait to see what comes out of our conversations here. As a resident of Utah and as an anchor in the amazing team that builds Utah Dark Skies work, welcome. I'm so glad you're here. And I think we have a message from the state that's going to echo that welcome.
We like to brag in Utah that Mother Nature played favorites. Beautiful wonders in the day, and then our beautiful night skies with the Milky Way at night.
The University of Utah is proud to host the Consortium for Dark Sky Studies. As an interdisciplinary group, it brings together the disparate expertise across a world-class university to look at the interplay of the issues that affect the present and the future of dark skies. As we're standing here in the Natural History Museum of Utah, it reflects the collaboration that exists across the arts and sciences of scholarship, our community outreach and engagement, and our education.
We have the privilege of having beautiful urban places, but also spectacular rural destinations. That's where so much of our Red Rock country is. The magic of rural is that there aren't very many lights. And many of our communities have gone to the effort to do night sky lighting so that even in areas that are urbanized, you can still experience the grandeur of the night sky.
I'm an amateur astronomer, so I have a personal appreciation of the importance of dark skies. One of the wonderful things about the state of Utah is the wide variety of environments. From urban areas that allow us to understand the effects of human behavior and activity on the environment, to pristine rural areas where we can see the sky as it was from the beginning of time. The presence of an urban area allows us to study the interactions of human effects on dark skies. Air pollution, wildfires, particulate matter, all of those things we know affect the dark skies that have been so deep a part of our cultural heritage.
So this is actually a very big deal for Utah, this astrotourism. I see social media posts where people talk about going out during the day and seeing all the red rock and so forth, and then resting up and they go back at night and learn from the astronomers at the parks with their mega telescopes. Welcome. We are so pleased to have the International Dark Sky Association and Allen meeting here in Utah.
We welcome you to savor and enjoy the natural resource that is the state of Utah. Enjoy its beauty, its culture, and savor its dark skies. Again, welcome.
Thanks for that, Jess. Finally, I'd like to invite Tim Hunter up to give us a few words before we start the AGM. As I mentioned, Tim is one of the co-founders of the IDA, and I hope you all will find time to speak with him out in the breakout sessions. He's got just a fascinating point of view about all kinds of things. So, Tim?
Wow, what do I say? I mean, this organization far exceeded anything I would have guessed. 30 years ago, I would have been just happy to be extant, like, still be here. But this is just wonderful. And while we want to protect and keep our skies dark, one of the missions for IDA was to help develop good nighttime, responsible outdoor lighting. And the other mission was to offer people solutions rather than problems. And as I see all the various efforts that we are going through in IDA, We're saying we want to keep our skies dark or restore dark skies, but here's the way we're going to do it, and offering people solutions. So I'm very encouraged. My honest belief is that you could be in an urban area, you could be in an urban park in the middle of a big city, and I grew up in the suburbs of Chicago, and you could be in the lakefront of Lake Michigan and look out toward the east, and you should be able to see the Milky Way if the lights are toned down just a bit. If I could wave a magic wand and turn off all those lights that weren't needed, aim all those lights down that we need, and have the proper amount of lighting levels, I think we could have the stars and the Milky Ways in the suburbs and cities if you weren't standing on a street light. So that's my goal. Now, whether I'll live to see it or not, I don't know. But boy, I'm so glad that everybody's here, and I hope you all have a great meeting. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Tim. Now we have a very famous person here that's going to be the MC of all of our great time in our ceremonies, and that's Kelly Beatty. He's a senior editor for Sky and Telescope magazine. Still, right? All right. Come on up, Kelly. Give a good hand for Kelly Beatty.
Well, Ken and Scott, I'm happy to tell you that you did not exceed your time, so get off the stage.
Out of here, man.
We got 5 more minutes.
4, 5,
Knock 'em dead.
7. Okay, so I'm going to serve as MC, which doesn't mean much, except I'm going to be the one with the short leash if you talk too long. And as Ken mentioned, I'm really thrilled that this agenda allows us breakout sessions, allows us poster talks, which is something that used to be an integral part of IDA AGMs, and I'm really thrilled to see that come back. So we want to get our first panel discussion up here.